I see some man talking up them mouth. I see some man talking up them mouth. And I got these people like Karen Cross. I will simply say to them, he who has ears, join me back this evening to hear from the field marshal. She gonna lick some out of her 6cc. And she don't need to descend to an abyss like some of you people. And cuss up in nasty, dirty, bad word and hate crimes. And who figure suck out from where enough is suck out. Wow. I've now gotten the confirmation that you're now a new altar boy for Emperor Golding. How much you were paid, I'm not sure. But we all know what happens to altar boys. Did Archbishop Golding altered you? Did Archbishop Golding alter you? Or you got monies? How much money you got for the interview? You're in Canada. So everybody know, and when you finish, you cuss me about the chicken where you give the people them, the homeless people them. Let me say this to your friend. The rice that you bought, I don't use that in my kitchen. Okay? Ask Rerum, Mark Golding business, what kind of rice I buy every week. Okay? The chicken that you get, I don't buy from that place. But it's good chicken. So when you come drop the 4 bag of chicken, oh God. And I cook for over 300 people. So what you expected them to get? A burger box like how you would have feed people. I gave them what? A double compartment box. Double compartment. With rice and vegetables and pasta and chicken. And the chicken wasn't enough. Remember that we cooked beef and curried goat. Dumb. Yeah. Yeah, Jamaica, so them turning out. Sound like a flipping retard. Real retard, dunce, fool and baseless. But I leave you for... No, I can ask the questions this morning. Jamaica, I'm in no question mode. What I found very strange and very sad is how the gentleman degrades women. The very wife that he has, based on how you spoke, why haven't you come out publicly and said this is not the view of the families, this is the view of Wayne Lonesome? And the subscribers who are listening on, the Tamisia Taylor and the witness person who is in witness protection, I don't think they should come back on your program. You are very insulting to women. And you said that Karen Cross is the one mashing up PNP. From my recollection, with Dayton Campbell and Angela Brown-Burke, they said the internal poll suggests that for Mark Golding to unite the PNP, they have to silence Peter Bunting, because a lot of the people are not offended by Mark Golding. But Dayton, you told me you're doing everything to silence Peter Bunting. Angela Brown-Burke, you remember that meeting down the UA Bowl? We spoke for near 4 hours the afternoon. You didn't go to Parliament in September 2021. That you said you stand with Mark Golding. And you asked me to meet you at UA Bowl, you and Dayton Campbell. And we sat and we strategized who is going to get what, when, how. When I said to you, you should be deputy chairman, you said, no, I have to be chairman. Yes, Mrs. Brown-Burke, we remember. And when I called some elders and said to them, you should become chairman, they said, Andre, you're going to regret it. And I have lived to regret that moment. When Angela and Dayton has come publicly to say you need money people in the party. But Mark Golding, from you have entered the party, have the financial records of the party improved? Have you declared your assets? Mark Golding, can you declare if you're a principal in proven investments? And if you're a principal director in proven bank? And can the Integrity Commission tell Jamaica whether or not it's conflict of interest for a public official to be involved in a bank? And why can't you declare your assets, Mr. Golding? Is it because you have more assets than the Prime Minister? Does the Prime Minister have shares in proven investment? Does the Prime Minister's wife has shares in proven investment? What is the relationship with the Prime Minister and his wife and the business in St. Lucia? Is proven based in St. Lucia or is in Jamaica? How many offshore accounts exist for Mark Golding? How many comrades has Mark Golding fed since he has been leader of the opposition, the People's National Party? How many seats have been written off by checks? How many MPs were asked to lose their seats for $40 and $50 million for 4 years? Why is it that the persons who kept their seats, 99% of them, are from one PNP? Is that by the spiritual works, or is it because this PNP people, the true, authentic PNP, never sold out the party? Why so many things happening in our country? And Mark Golding, you're so silent. We're finding the guns. Hi, darling. But you're so silent. You never asked for a guns campaign. You asked for the Commissioner of Police to resign. But the Commissioner of Police to resign was my call. It wasn't yours. It was my call. It wasn't yours. And Mark Golding, Pastor Shettlewart, has to be carrying a class action against the government. What is your response? Tarrant Baptist Church is standing up for the people. What is your response? I can't tell you why you can't talk, because you're compromised. It has been said, Mark Golding, that you and the Prime Minister sits at the same table, have dinner, have breakfast. And one of the reasons why you can't talk is because there is profit sharing of the monies for COVID. Is there any truth to that? Why is it that so many MPs have to be welfare officers? Mark Golding, whilst you're planning the demise of the PNP, people like Lisa Hanna is looking as a solution. Philip Powell, Michael Phillips, so many of your MPs are in disdain and disassociate from you. Right? And you can't talk, Mr. Golding, because you're compromised by the monies that you have received, or it is alleged that you have received. Is there any truth? You paid, or somebody from Rise United paid a woman to do a video against Peter Phillips. So I'm not surprised if Wayne Lonesome was paid for the interview, because it sounds so rehearsed, coerced, and staged. The hardest questions that was asked was, how are you? Who is Mark Golding? And the truth is, you yourself couldn't even define who is Mark Golding. You told Jamaica you never wanted to be in politics. You basically told Jamaica you're holding it until Peter Bunting get a seat. You can't give Peter Bunting your seat, but he will still not be leader. How many people Peter Bunting asked to lose the election, not knowing that he himself would lose Central Manchester? Hmm? That's why the Bible speaks about love. Love lifted me. Love lifted me. When I see a man like Hugo go and tell the people in his constituency that him don't listen to people who demonstrating. Hugo is who teach you. It couldn't be Pickersgill. It couldn't be Pickersgill who teach you. When a demonstration is happening, Hugo, the first thing you do is send your counselors out to find out who are the loudest noise makers. Call them to a meeting and sit down. Do not come from Mark Golding's camp that when their voice descends, you ignore the voice. I am told, Mark Golding, that you got a letter from Comrade Karen Cross from the 6th of March, somewhere thereabout, or the 2nd of March, identifying Dayton Campbell doing some activities that are wrong. And you ignore the letter. And truth is, if I was in your position, Mark Golding, you know what I'm going to ask? The truth is, if I was in your position, the council within the PNP would have been called up to intervene and intercede to see what is happening here, to do some investigations and to plan. And before it go out a road, ask Dayton to take a leave of absence until certain things are cleared up, but you never did that. Because your orange Hulk is your only hope, whilst is your biggest liability. He's your greatest liability. Dayton Campbell and Angela Brownberg and Peter Bunting are your 3 musketeers who are your liabilities. Philip Paul was a party man, but because of your insecurities, you can't embrace him because you think Philip Paul would want to be leader. If Philip Paul wanted to be like that, you could not be leader, Mark Golding. Think about that. And that is why it is alleged that Peter Bunting used his powers and wrote to the US to cancel Philip Paul's visa. Look how deadly Peter Bunting is. And he did the same to Darrell Vaz. It's not us that says the former United States ambassador, Tapias, who said it. So there must be some truth to it. And what I find is so many injustices happening in Jamaica. And some lawyers can have deaths in their homes. And a very prominent lawyer who is alleged to be one of the lawyers of Pharaoh had the death of Jermaine Jr. And to date, the family has gotten no disclosure to that case. And he's the friends of many of them on both sides. Not even his bar practice has been suspended. But I'm going to say to you, see Jamaica, you see the courthouse bundle at St. Anne, Brownstone courthouse bundle, St. Mary Washout, Brownstone, Trelawny. What will it be? Will it be the compound? The compound won't burn. War is in the hemisphere. War is in the hemisphere. And some people need to remember. Some people must remember. Hi, my best friend.